sums. Man just been keeping up a gun. Please don't act like you are a tongue. NCP get short like sons. All jinked up rider and a bus.
What's going on, people? You're locked into another episode of Urban Download. I am joined by, I'm gas to say this, Boss Mischief, aka the Refix champion. Again, another one of North London's saviors, the Refix king. I can't even. Yeah, you know what? Big up to Boss. Welcome, my brother. Welcome.
Mad intro, man. Respect, man. Respect, love.
Bro, this is amazing to speak to you, my bro, because you are one of grind's unsung heroes, and I feel that it's amazing to speak to you today. But I just want to ask, as I ask everyone, bro, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've just been cracking on with life, man. Just cracking on with life in the lockdown, man. Just getting the shit done, innit? Just getting stuff done, man. Work.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, forget music. Let's put that aside. I obviously we know you for your musical talents, but as a person, like you, obviously, what have you been doing personally from a human being perspective?
Just buying houses recently, man. That's it, man.
Buying houses.
Yeah, man. In lockdown, I just thought, what can I do to take advantage of the situation? You know what I mean? And that was it, man. Just thought, buy a couple of houses, man. The one I'm in now, just doing it up.
Okay, so what, are you flipping them? Are you buying them and flipping them, or flat buying them and just?
At the moment, I'm sticking with them and renting them out, innit?
Okay.
So I'm waiting for the property to go up more, and then I'll flip it. So I'm just renting them out, man. Renting them out, cash flow.
Okay, right. Wow. Well, do you know what? That's something that I've always aspired to do, man. Buy houses, do them up, and stuff like that. That's incredible, man. That's incredible. That's not what I would expect.
I'm getting onto Airbnb as well, so it's more or less Airbnb when I say renting it out.
Wow. Let me just a little focus on that, just a little touch on where did that inspiration come from? Like, obviously not one day you're gonna have some money. Do you know what? I'm just gonna buy a yard and I'm just gonna do it up and what, like, obviously I'm assuming you've had this plan for a while.
Yeah, because obviously, like, I don't know, I'm different with money, do you know what I mean? I think I've done all the crazy stuff when I was crazy young, do you know what I mean? Like 13, 14, I was doing crazy stuff that people are doing now. So now I'm getting older with the money. I think, what can I do? That's a good investment.
Bro,
obviously in the UK, houses is the bait one to be like, okay, when you got a bit of money, houses is the obvious one to do in the UK. And it's kind of stable, do you know what I mean? The most stable thing. Everyone's doing Bitcoin and rare, but I think the most stable sort of thing is houses, isn't it? So,
bro, how old are you? How old, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a big man. That's the number. I'm a big man.
The reason why I asked that, my bro, is because the youth today, the younger generation, need that kind of mentality, that kind of guidance to help us rise. And that's I want to say, well done to you, my bro. That's excellent to hear that. That's a great testament to you, and you should be very proud of yourself, man.
I respect that, but it's obviously, like, I'm a studio rat, innit? So, like, I'm rubbish at multitasking, do you know what I mean? So, like, I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to be a studio rat for like 12 months. I cut out for 12 months and I've done that. Do you get me? Like,
yeah.
Because I'm not good at multitasking, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I just love being in the studio. Like, I could be in the studio like my whole life. Everyone knows that I'm just a studio head, innit? Do you know what I mean? So you can't please both worlds, innit? Like, certain people would rate that I'm a studio rat, and then family will be like, "Well, you're always in the studio, bro. You need to pattern your life." So you get me? Like, you can't please both worlds, innit? So
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, it sounds like you patterned it nicely, man. So I wish you all the best of that adventure, bro.
Yeah.
Nah. Big respect to you, man. Very blessings to you, man. I'm gonna ask this. What Mischief? Where did that come from? And have you always been Boss Mischief?
No, like, I've always been Mischief. That's always been my name. And then I'll put something either before or after, just so I can, like, so people can find me. Do you know what I mean? So I've always been Mischief. I'll be like, there's billions of Mischief. So when I first started, I was Mischief Productions with a Z at the end of production. And then after that, I was Mischief. Then just so people can find me, no other Mischiefs, I just put the Boss. Do you get what I mean? Because that was like my nickname in like 2012, like 2013. Everyone used to just call me Boss. The way I just moved on the streets, like that was my nickname, Boss.
Okay.
No one knew me as Mischief on the roads, so I just put the Boss to the Mischief. You get me? And then that was it, man.
So more times
I've always
Mischief.
been Mischief, though. Huh?
More times when I hear the name Mischief, that is like attached to MCs. Were you an MC or were you just a producer?
Never an MC, always producer, man. Always,
Just strictly producer. Okay. So
yeah.
I
got that name. Sorry to cut you. I got that name from another producer, like a producer called Static. I don't know if you heard of him before.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, old
with
school
a K,
producer.
with a K, right? With a K, I'm pretty sure. I think.
Yeah. He's like a family friend to me still. Like, you get what I mean? Like old school friend. So that's how I got into music still, and then he gave me that name.
Okay, I'm gonna touch on that in regards to your musical influences. But you are originally a North London Don, soon then moved to Northamptonshire, if I'm not correct.
Yeah.
So North London, what we're talking? Palmer's, Enfield, Totty. What we're talking?
I was like Great Cambridge, so that's like Lordship Lane. Sort of
I know it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in between Edmonton and Tottenham and Green, do you know what I mean? I was in the middle of everything.
Okay.
So that's why
the move to Northamptonshire, was that a strategic one, or was that just something that you had to do on a whim? You just thought you needed to move out.
That was just upbringing, innit? That was Mumsy, man. That was Mumsy getting on out. Do you know what I mean? And that was it. I just cut out with Mumsy. That was it, man.
Good move now.
Huh?
Good move moving at the ends.
I like, bro. For me, it done me justice. I can't lie, man. I'm still here. Do you know what I mean? I'm still here. I'm still about. My mind's right. So for me, I think for the character I sort of needed that. Do you know what I mean? Like I needed to get out and focus on what I was doing. So certain people can pattern in their ends where they grew up and that, but for me, I was a bit of a wild one. So I needed that.
You said the character that you are. What did you mean by that?
Mischief, innit? You get me, like.
Okay, so you live up to the name, right?
100% facts, man.
Okay.
That's me.
I hear that. So, producer by day. Well, naturally, no. Producer by day, producer by night, but also a guy who's got his head screwed on and is very focused in life, which is very evident from the outset. But I want to focus on your production. You mentioned how you bucked up with Static from the early days. So I'd like to kind of understand the dynamics with that. I don't want to jump in first in regards to, you started using X, Y, and Z stuff. I really want to understand, where did that passion, when did it click when you thought, I want to produce music?
Bro, like when I was hearing like Wiley, Meridian Crew, Dizzy, do you get what I mean? Like hearing them dons do their things when I was young, I was just like, bro, like I can actually produce. But before that, obviously I used to like Pharrell Williams, Timbaland, Swiss Beats.
My three favorite producers you mentioned straight away. It's Swiss, Timbo.
Like all those, we all know them now, do you know what I mean? But I knew them from time, and like obviously their beats used to get vocaled, but I mainly focused on the beats, innit? I didn't even like I was thinking, Jay-Z's hard, Nas is hard, like all these rappers, Snoop is hard. But like as I got older, I started to appreciate the beats more, and I was hearing their beats, and I was just like, okay, these lot are monsters, they're superstars. I don't know how to even make this stuff, innit? They're using some mad mixing board that's like flipping crazy long, like it looked bare dramatic, innit? So I was like, well, okay, cool, they're doing their thing. I don't know what I'm going to be when I'm older, but when I started hearing like Wiley and that do it, and it sounded a bit more UK-ish, So Solid Crew, it sounded UK-ish. I was like, okay, like how are they doing this stuff? And then knowledge passed on, what kind of software they used, and I was just like, yeah, man. They made me believe I could do it, do you know what I mean? But listening to Dr. Dre, I didn't think I could do that stuff, you know what I mean? I just thought they were monsters, they were bare older than me.
Untouchables. Yeah, 100%.
Dizzy and Wiley and Meridian Crew and all them lot, Jamie, Skepta, they made it more believable for people like myself to be like, "Wow, we can do this thing."
It's achievable. I mean? It's achievable.
Yeah, exactly.
Growing up, did you have like a musical influence from family, parents? Like, was there a lot of music around you, or was it just you just being out on the roads, out with your friends, just growing up, being a teenager in North London, just hearing loads of different types of music? What was it?
No, my mum was a singer still. She used to sing in it.
Okay.
And she was involved in like a theatre production, like literally when she was carrying me still, like when she was carrying me, like when she was pregnant with me.
Wow.
She was like singing on stage, innit? And then she used to tell me that when I was younger, she said, when I was nervous, you used to be kicking. Like I was hearing music before I was even out.
Man, tap into the beat still. Yeah. That's incredible.
I was hearing music before I was even on this planet, you know what I'm saying? So
it was
meant to be. And like my mum was a singer, like normal sort of Caribbean upbringing, music every Sundays, food cooking on the stove, like sort of reggae music, a lot of lovers rock music. I don't know if people know what that is. That's like reggae, lovers rock, innit?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then like my sister, I got a sister, she grew up, it was like garage. She used to rave a lot. Like
I'm assuming that she's older if she was garage.
She's way older still. So like I was a youth, and then she used to be listening to garage and that. Do you get what I mean? And like when it first sort of came out, like 2003, all that sort of stuff, 2002, 2004. Do you get what I mean? And then flipping, like from her, like R&B as well, like R&B she used to listen to as well. So
okay, this is interesting. This is interesting, which is going to lead me on to a few more questions in regards to musical influence a bit later on. But it's amazing to hear that your own mother was a musician in her own right, and it sounded like she was extremely talented and performing regularly. So it's in the blood. It's in you, and it's evident with the quality of your work and the type of music that you that you produce today. All right, going back to Static. So Static, you linked up with Static. He showed you what the ropes of how to produce. Is that how it works out?
Static's like a family friend, isn't it? He's like my sister's friend. Do you know what I mean? So like them that used to chill. So them times there, I think he was producing. And then obviously like he stopped producing and all that stuff. He got onto another thing, what he's doing, other stuff that he's doing. But along the way, he's always like I was influenced by him, innit? I used to see him, he used to take me to like cutting places and that when I was a youth and that. So I saw him do what he was doing, do you know what I mean? And I was like, right, okay, one day I'm gonna do this as well, do you know what I mean? We messed about, I made some collabs in his studio, the studio in his yard, done some mess about collabs, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, man, I think without him, it would have been a madness. Like, I would have found my way, but from younger, he was just like, yeah, boom, put a stamp from early on, and then after that, I done what I was doing, and then I went back to that, you get what I mean? But yeah, he put a stamp on from early on still, I can't lie.
So what software did you start using?
Raw. Probably like Fruity, man.
Yeah, standard.
Probably like Fruity. When I was a young, like, I messed around with like music generator and that, like, you know what I mean? Like mad things like that. But like messing around with that, but like probably Fruity, like properly Fruity.
And what were you making? Were you just making strictly grime? Were you playing about with different genres? Like, what were you doing?
I was making a lot of like 75 BPM, 90 BPM stuff. Not a lot of grime when I started. I was just making like hip hoppy stuff.
Wow. Okay.
No, I was making like hip hoppy stuff. I wasn't making that much grime. I can't lie.
So was that influenced by, as you mentioned, about all the different American producers and stuff?
Yeah, like that was like when I got on it, I was just like, yeah, man, the Dre's, the Swisses, and that. And then
100.
After that, I got onto like the grime when I started using Reason. That was like later on when I started believing in myself more. Like when I started taking it seriously, then I started making my own sound. You know what I mean?
Interesting. A lot of grime producers don't use Reason. It's either FL or Cubase, or Logic even. But Reason. So what was the ideology? What was the mindset for using Reason? You just jumped on it one day and thought, yeah, let me try a thing on this.
Yeah, I went to college, innit? And that's the program that like I studied mainly was Reason and Logic. And that was it, man. After that, I was just like, yeah, I pattern with Reason. Because everyone's using Fruity, I just thought, let me use something different, innit?
Are you still using Reason? Are you still using Reason to this day?
Yeah,
okay,
man.
my man's My man's allegiance of reason still say no more. Okay, you mentioned college, and that's great to hear because obviously you went and studied a course, obviously to do with music, and you probably obviously sensed that you were onto something here, and you wanted to focus on something which clearly sounded like a passion to you. What was the idea for studying music, and what were you focusing on when you were studying music at college?
Yeah, I just thought like everyone else was just coming out of school doing their road stuff. Like they weren't really going to, like most of my friends weren't going to college. I can't lie. I was probably the only one really going to college. So, and that was what I was interested in at the time. So I thought, what am I good at? Music. Let me do that. My grades at school weren't the best as well. So I was lucky to get into college. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, big up the people at college still. It was mad. It was sick. And then after college, I went to uni and studied music as well. So I just followed it through.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
I followed it through. I can't lie.
Do you ever
just kept me focused, man? Kept me focused.
I was gonna say, because again, you know, people, it's very difficult for people to kind of maintain that mindset. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. What motivated you, man? Was it? Was it the music? Was it the music? Did you see that there was something in you to carry on with your musical education? Like, what was it that I want to do? I want to go uni now. I want to do music there as well.
It was something that I loved, didn't it? Like I love music. Like it's just something I can't live without. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I just thought, why not study it, and I can get education out of it, and I can stay off the roads, and I can have a focus, something that can get me out. I wasn't working at the time, so that was basically my work, innit? Like a lot of kids growing up, they were going through some mad stuff, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like probably still are now. Like they're waking
I was gonna
up,
say it's the same situation now.
They ain't got no structure in it. So I'm thinking I ain't got a job. Do you get me? Like, so what am I waking up for, innit? I can wake up and make rhythms all day long, but I need something else. I need something else that is like more powerful that I know I can't miss, innit? So I thought it gives me a bit of structure. Do you know what I mean? Like organization, like I can pattern certain things. So I thought I need those life skills in it at this certain age. So I just followed it through to uni, man.
I hear that. Bro, I'm just going to just pause it for 1 second. I didn't put my charger in. I apologize. 1 second.
Go for it, man.
Okay, so it's great to hear that you maintained your passion for music, and as you said, you went on to university. What was it that you studied at music? Is it more kind of the production kind of skills, or was it more theory?
It was sound. Yeah, it was like sound recording, which is like recording people, like sound engineering and music production, like the science behind it and all that stuff. So yeah, it was helpful. I can't lie, it was helpful, man.
Okay. I'm gonna really focus now on your production, because for me, I'm a fan. I'm a massive fan, and you know that. For the amount of DMs that I send to you regularly, I literally holler at you like you're my girl, no homo. But yeah, you are. I mean, for me, growing up, I've come from grime. I started grime in 2002, 2003. When I started grime early, the thing was with grime was the refix thing. I love refixes. That is me. Like, I love it. Yeah, I love the originals, but refixes are the one. And the one thing that I love about your music is that you refix everything. You refix every genre you can even imagine. And when I hear it refixed, I'm like, I reach the highs, and I just think, wow, I wish I could do this. When I listen to your music, one, I get jealous. Two, I'm in euphoria because I'm thinking the way that this guy has done this and refixed it, and just the patterns, the drum patterns, the bass, everything is just wild. It just blows me away, and I'm like, this brings me back to nostalgia, bro. It brings me back to the old school, because grime, a lot of producers were refixing R&B and stuff like that, and then it kind of went away for a while, and no one was really doing it. And then of recent, the likes of yourself, there's a producer called Dunman, who I spoke to not too long ago. There's a few other producers who still kept on the refix thing. My question to you is, when you started producing on Reason, okay, obviously we mentioned that you started doing the rap stuff and the 90 BPM, 75 BPM, whatever. When was it, when you moved to Reason, did you thought, yeah, let me try and produce grime? Is that it? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, like as soon as I moved on to Reason, I found like my sound, and yeah, I was just messing around with my sound a lot. And like my early productions, I was doing a lot of like refixes, remixes. Like I can't even lie, I was doing them. I was known for doing wild remixes, innit? My brothers will come around and be like, "Yeah, this is mad." Like I was doing wild ones, though, literally, like crazy, like cartoon theme tunes and all that sort of stuff. Like
Oh man.
crazy, like them sort of days, isn't it? When I first started, you get me? There's a few on YouTube still, and I was doing like wild refixes, and then I kind of stopped. I stopped doing refixes, and I was doing bare like originals, experimental stuff. And then yeah, man, like I don't know, I just had a mad phase. I was thinking, you know, I'm gonna do some refixes. I just woke up one day and said, I'm gonna do some, like, you know what I mean? I've done a couple, and then after that, like I just had a vision of like, you know what, I'm gonna refix the world. Like I just thought I'm gonna refix the world. Like I'm just gonna literally refix every tune there is that I like. Do you get what I mean? Like
Bro,
before anyone else does it. Like that was the motivation. I was just like, before anyone else does it, I'm gonna refix every tune that I like. That was my first phase. I was like, every tune that I like, I'm gonna refix it because I don't want anyone else to do it.
exactly.
So you get me?
You refix the world, and you have. And for me, if someone was to ask me who's the producer, who's the refix king, actually not just me. You ask all the DJs. Speak to Oblate, who loves your refixes as well.
I had a thing offset like Cardi, sicker than Rick, I love to party. Oh, fuck off, swear down is that rhythm. Fucking hell, reload that, that's nuts. That's mad, I've never heard nothing like this before. Old school.
Like, with all the big brand DJs, you will be the #1 refix king, and you are, and that is you. And you go to your Bandcamp, blood. I mean, you got Refix Champion, you got, Refix Madness. Like, it's refixes, and it's just, yeah. I mean, where do you find your inspiration to refix tunes? So, is it just anything you hear? Will you be walking down the street, you hear like a car going past playing the traffic? Yo, I need to refix. Like, where does that come from? Where do you get your inspiration to
Yeah,
refix
like
tunes?
I can't lie, like I started refixing the stuff that I like and just networking with DJs. Like a lot of DJs, big up Jack that as well. Like he helped me. Like he was just like, yeah, he would throw me through balls. You get me? Like people just connecting with me and throwing me through balls, and I'll be like, yeah. That's how I like working like that, innit? Do you know what I mean? I can listen to music all day long, but if someone's like, yo, this tune's sick, I'd be like, oh, that tune is sick, I would never thought to refix that. So it was just influence people around me, friends, DJs that I chat with and that. So that was helpful, and just any tune that I grew up liking, I was thinking, you know what, I'm now capable of giving it a worthy flip. Whereas when I was younger, I wouldn't have done it justice. Do you know what I mean? So as I got older, I thought I can actually do this tune justice. I held so much tunes back because I was thinking, I'm not ready for that one yet. Still, you get me? But when I get older, I'm gonna touch that one. You know what I mean?
Okay. Did you ever have a hand in DJing and playing out your own tunes and giving it a go?
I grew up DJing, man. That's how I started. I cut that a bit still, but I grew up starting DJing. That's how I started, man.
Okay. This is good to hear. Like from a DJ to another DJ. I'd like to.
I need to get on it, man. I need to get on it. I've stopped. I don't even touch that anymore. But that's something that I definitely need to start doing.
Okay.
Man, because
even though we've gone a bit back and forward, I want to really focus on this. So you started DJing. Let's focus on that, and then we'll go back to. And I'm going to edit this out, but. Okay, so you became a DJ. Obviously, that doesn't happen overnight. How did that come about?
Just the love of the music, the Wileys, the Dizzies, the Mildred crews. You get me, the Nasty crews. You get me, Mac 10. You get me, Jammer when he was DJing, Skepta when he was DJing. Like you get me, before there was MCs. Like you get me, that's the sort of grind that I was growing up. Like that was the vibe. You feel me? So. I just thought, yeah, man, I need to spin their tunes. So I went through that cycle of like collecting records and all that stuff. Like,
where were you going? Where were you going? Where were you buying your records from?
You know what? It was so long ago, but I remember going Archway still. I can't remember the store, but I remember going Archway. So anyone that knows record shop in Archway, So I remember going there, but I was mad. I was in school, like, and I used to be sending out people to buy me records, innit? Like, I'll just pay some like, you get me, like
that. The passion was real. I can't lie.
it's buy me some records, bro. Like, you get me?
That's mad. Okay. So you bought the records. Did you have the equipment at home? That's the main question. Where did you play your records?
I had some dead equipment that I bought from like was it Matlin's or something? You know that shop Matlin's that you go to the back and you see the turntables. I had sound labs, fam. You get me? I'll send you a picture of my setup still.
Yeah, I need to include that in this story. Please send me that picture, brother. The struggle was real.
I had belt drives. I didn't even have power drives.
Oh my!
Belt drives, bro. I was murking though. I was murking with belt drives.
Boy, all I can say, if anyone can DJ on belt drives, they're a true DJ. That's all I can say.
I was belt drive. That was a belt drive king them days, fam. I can't lie, fam. I was tiny as well. I was about 4 foot, brother. I just like reached the decks, fam. I was nuts.
Oh my days! Oh my days! That's hilarious. Okay, all right. So your 4 foot self was on the decks. You were mashing up. Yeah, you're playing your records. So what happened? So obviously, did you go anywhere? Did you go into like the local youth clubs and start playing your stuff?
No. That's what I said. I was just at yard, fam. Like, that was the thing about me. That was the only negative thing about me. Like, I love music so much. That was enough. Like, me being in my house, spinning the records, that was enough. Like, I didn't really care about being out there and doing a lot of madness. I thought, well, I'm getting a feeling that I like. That's enough. When I was making rhythms, I'm getting a feeling that I like. I don't need any.
Incredible.
I didn't need anything more. You get me? Like, I was happy enough to make rhythms, wake up in the morning, play the rhythm I made at 3 a.m., wake up, excited. I don't even want to sleep. You get me? That's how I am now. If I make a rhythm at night, I can't even sleep. You know what I mean? I just want to wake up, play the tune, get ready, have the tune on repeat, and start my day in it. That's enough. I didn't really know about getting out there, sending your music, becoming a brand and all that stuff. I'm still learning that now, do you get what I mean? Because my love for music is stronger than the other stuff on the other side, do you know what I mean?
I was going to say, it's so evident that your passion for music really has a positive experience and an effect on your daily life. And then for you to say that you would make a tune or you listen to a tune and it would have that positive effect on you, and then that would be enough. That'd be it. And that's incredible.
I've only learned the last 5 years, probably 5 or 6 years of like, all right, cool, I can share my music. Do you get what I mean? Like, my brethren would be like, bro, you need to start sharing your music. You can't just be no studio rat. This is mad. You get me? And I was just like, yeah, it looks a bit mad. I'm just a studio guy. And that's why I say I'm a studio rat. Like, I don't really care about being out and being crazy. Like, but I get people need to hear what's in the laptop. They need to hear what's in the computer. That's what I'm working on now. Do you know what I mean? Just sharing my music more. Do you get what I mean? So I'm still learning that phase, and most people have mastered that art of like being out there, socializing, going to events, connecting. I'm just an op like that. I just like making music, but I need to start sharing it more. You get me?
At the same time, there's nothing wrong with that, brother. Because at the same time, you're going to be more focused on your music, and you're in the lab and producing those bangers. And you mentioned one thing, how you sit on tunes, because I remember I said to you, bro, like, have you ever refixed More Than a Woman before? Like, yeah, a man done that like years ago. And I'm thinking, well, there's a prime example. You're sitting on a banger, you haven't even released it, and we're going to mention about Lockdown Files because it's on there as well, which is even. Okay, right. So you had a little stint at DJ, and weren't really for you. You've jumped back on the production now. I mentioned about what inspires you. But the big question is, bro, especially when we mention lockdown, what motivated you throughout lockdown? Because we're human beings, right? And I get it that we all have our times when we think, I can't be bothered to do this. Do you ever get them times when you start a tune and you think, oh, you know what? I can't be bothered.
Nah, once I start a tune, I'm in it, man. Like, once I start a tune, that's it. I'm involved. Do you get what I mean? Like, it might. Like, I'll never stop motivated once I start. Once I start it, it's done. Like, it's always finished. Whether I put it out, that's another story, but it's always done. Like,
As long as you finish it, you're good. Like, it don't matter about if you're going to send it out to whatever,
yeah,
Bandcamp or whatever.
Like, it's done. Like, once I start a tune, it's done, man. Like, I just like making tunes for myself, innit? But as I said, that needs to start changing a bit more. But I'm just addicted to be making rhythms for myself, like just making rhythms, turning it out, playing the music out loud, having my own rave. You get me? Like,
I was gonna say, having your own rave. So it sounds to me that you're the kind of brother who's driving around, having your rhythms played, like blaring your tunes. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah. But I keep it in moderation, though. Sometimes I play my ones, but like my new ones that I'm testing out. Do you get what I mean? So like, once they're tested out, they're tested in the car speakers, you know, the car test, as I call it. You get me? So if I make like 3 rhythms today, or whatever, the rhythms I made today, I'll jump in the whip, I'll play them once, get me? That's like 10, 20 minutes, and I'll keep it moving, innit? That'll be it. And I'll play some other rhythms that I'm liking, or some other music that I'm feeling.
Okay, so which is just about what I was going to ask you. Grime aside, what is Boss Mischief's other genre? What's your music when you think, you know, I'm going to just listen to this? Like, is it garage? Is it R&B? What is it?
Like, I listen to different music in different spaces, innit? Like, in my studio, I will listen to music to influence me. So it'll be like anything, man. It'll be like R&B, grime, garage, electronic, new wave music, classical. And I wouldn't be turning up, innit? I'll be playing it and just be observing how it's done. Do you get what I mean? Like, listening to music, innit? Not even catching a vibe, just listening to it, like observing how that's done, trying to get a vibe, trying to get like influence. But when I'm in the car music is different. Like, car music is lit. Like, I'm just trying to get turned, innit? Like, you get me? So when I'm in the car, I'm like listening to mainly like a rap. I can't lie, mainly like American rap music. In the car, that's what I listen to. But in my studio, I'm listening to like everything, grime, everything, man. Every single music.
There's a reason why you're not going to the raves, brother, because you're having the raves in your own car still, so you don't need to go anywhere else, bro. You know the ones.
Like, it's mad. Like, yeah, in the car, I'm turning up, man. Facts.
Okay. Good, man. You're in your own personal space. You get to enjoy it and just, man, really appreciate it. And listen, as you said, do the car test and listen to your rhythms as well and see how it really sounds as opposed to the studio version. Okay, that's good. Right. Lockdown Files. I'm gassed. When you spoke to me, you mentioned, bro, I've got a release coming up on Friday the 16th of July, 2021. I was like, okay. I'd already looked on the Bandcamp. I saw what was about. I was thinking, I have to say a little prayer for the people then, because what is that? Talk to us about lockdown Files. What is this, bro?
Yeah, it's mad because like during lockdown, like obviously I was sitting on bare rhythms. I was just gonna continue. Like, I go through my Bandcamp has like a yearly sort of thing. Like, I'll release like Sunday Chill. I'll release Refix Madness. I'll give the people what they want. But then when it was lockdown, pandemic, I was like, you know what, man? There's other serious stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to continue like the world's normal. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's dumb. I'll be lying to myself. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want people to realize that there is a pandemic, there is lockdown. Go and do what you're doing. Like, you don't need to turn up to my music right now. There's serious stuff out there. You get me? Let me pattern my life. Right now, you don't need me right now. No one needs Boss Mischief in pandemic, fam. I'm telling you, like, you're not needed. The clubs are shut down. No point. You get me? So you lot do your thing. I'm calm in it. And then obviously out of lockdown, was it next week? Coming out of lockdown. So I was like, yeah, man. I'm back, man. I'm back. I'm back with lockdown. Man. I'm out of lockdown. My tunes are out of lockdown. You get me? That's all it was. And obviously, like, I've released a lot. Like, I've released 36 tracks. So I've given, on that project, I've given Refix Madness, Sunday Chill, and some originals. I've just combined everything. A whole year's worth of tunes I've combined it and just given it in one project, isn't it?
Bro, I did every single rhythm, I think at least 3 or 4 times. But my favorite rhythm on Lockdown Files has to be track number 1. And that's what you sent that to me before it came out on Lockdown Files. and that is
facts.
the exhibit tune. For me, I played it in all my sets. I did my own event 2 weeks ago, and I played it on the set because it works well with the Skippy MCs, because your rhythms work amazing with the Skippy MCs like Duppy and so on and so forth. And when I played it, I remember I did it in Brixton. I played at Raven Brixton. I played that, and like it touched me, bro. Like I felt it, because the refixes you do are grimy, but you keep the originality of the tune, and you keep the melody. And sometimes sometimes even though it's grime, some of your beats get emotional for me, bro. Like I feel but you get what I'm saying. Like some of the refixes that you do, they sound even though it's gritty and like, you know, it sounds hard, it sounds cold, but at the same time you keep the melody there, and I'm like, yo, man, this sounds incredible. Like, do you feel that sometimes? Do you get emotional with your music, or is it
like when I'm making music now, obviously I make music. I just make music for myself, to be honest. Like, and I got onto the sharing the music, but like I'm getting turned up. So I was like, you know what? Like, I hope people can have the same feeling I'm getting. Do you know what I mean? That's, as long as that can happen, then yeah, man. Like it's emotional. It's everything. You know what I mean? Like all emotions in my music still.
What do you want from music? What is it that what are you doing with this? Like, what is your end goal with the music situation?
You know what? Someone asked me the same thing. You know, like that is one of the best questions. Still, like I know what I want to do, and I'm not even nowhere near it, but I'm on the journey to it. If that makes sense, man. Like my music is like a slow burner, isn't it? All my tunes, like some of my tunes, I'll release my tune like now, for example, and then 2 years later, it will spread like a fire, innit? Like my music's such a slow burner because that's the way I am. I'm not in everyone's face, innit? I'm not like a big machine behind me pushing the music like, I'm just me, and my music's just out there, innit? Do you know what I mean? So once people realize, okay, this is actually sick, and then that's how you get the ball rolling, isn't it? But it's like a small flame that just spreads. That's how music is.
Man comes like the flu, you know. That peak comes up here and there, and then spreads like wildfire, and then goes away for a little bit, comes back again. And that is true, because when you look at your stuff, sometimes you think, oh, where's Mischief gone? He's gone for a little piece. But in my mind, I know that you're cooking up something, you're working on stuff, and there's something still going on, which is incredible to see. We mentioned grime DJs, and like myself, I like to champion producers like yourself. But how has the reaction been from the grime scene in regards to your music? What has it been like for you? What have you received from people? What are the kind of the feedback you've been getting?
No, it's been motivating, man. Like that's what motivated me to share my music, innit? Like that scene motivated me to share my music. Without that scene, I just would keep my music in my studio. I can't even lie. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't care. I was just like making music for myself, and then the scene showed me love, and I was just like, oh, you showed me love, I'll give you more. That's how I am, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like if you show me love, I'll give you what you want. Do you know what I mean? That's how I am. So that was motivating still. So the more love they have, the more I'll share. That's it. That's how I work.
You said how the scene showed you love, but I think it went wider than that, because for people who don't know, you remixed a tune of Georgia Smith's "Beautiful Little Fools." I'm not going to say anything. I'll let you explain. What happened with that, brother?
Yeah, that was mad. As I said, it's like wildfire, isn't it? Like I'll make a tune, and it just spreads into other people's hands, isn't it? So, like I made the Georgia Smith flip. I put that on my Sunday Chill EP. That's like a more R&G sort of vocal sort of flips that I do. And yeah, it got picked up by Maserati for their, like, they were doing a car, like a hybrid car.
Hold on. Stop. I get it. It was on your Bandcamp, right? I'm trying to picture some Italian brother. Just let me just go on the Bandcamp and go into that. Do you know how it came about? Was it someone that you knew, or was it literally just random?
I never know, man. That's why I keep my Bandcamp sort of hot. Do you know what I mean? Because I just keep everything on there, like. And then I think they got it from YouTube though.
Oh,
They
wow.
were from YouTube. I can't remember the channel that uploaded it, but big you up because they uploaded it on YouTube and they found it on YouTube. And obviously,
Wow.
it doesn't even have that much views in it. Like it was just the skippy sort of thing that I do. You know, my flips, so the skippy. They thought that worked well with their futuristic sort of cutting edge advert. Advertisement deals because it's proper healthy, man.
I mean, when I saw the video, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I wasn't surprised. To be fair, I wasn't surprised, and that's generally from inside. That I knew it was inevitable because, again, you're doing stuff that not a lot of other people do, and nowadays these brands are trying to step out of the mold and trying to go in regards to kind of the urban kind of direction. And that for me, when I watched the video, I thought that sits perfectly with what they were trying to. I think it was the Maserati Ghibli. I think it is. I think that's how you pronounce it. But
hybrid one.
The hybrid, first hybrid.
Yeah, first hybrid they've ever had. So that's history still.
I was led on to my next point. Not only was it the first hybrid, but your music was promoted on their advertisement for that. So that's incredible. But as I said, I wasn't surprised.
Was, man.
I mean, just with that, like, was there a lot of back and forth with them? Were they like, oh, you know, that? I mean, do you think this could be a progression for more stuff in the future? I mean, you know, have you thought about that?
That's down to me as well. That's down to me to put my face forward, like be a bit more pushy. A lot of things that's happened, people have approached me in it, so I need to step up the game. To be honest, like that's just my only negative thing that I punch myself for. It's just like I don't go halfway in it. I expect people to come to me and yeah, I'm not a risk taker in it. I don't like approach people that much. Like so anything that's happened is people that have approached me. So I just need to be more like outgoing and be like, okay, cool, maybe I can step up and approach this person, like, get me? So like live and learn, innit? Do you know what I mean? But
100%.
They approached me, so that was a blessing in disguise. That made me think, wow, I've probably got loads of music that if I just stepped out a bit, like it will be in different platforms. Do you know what I mean?
I can only imagine how much other music you're sitting on that the whole world has no idea what you've got in store. But at the same time, that is your unique selling point in some cases. I guess that is a blessing to you. All right. What is next for you musically? Are you just playing it by ear and seeing how it goes, or have you got things in the pipeline?
I got like, I think I was gonna say but I'll just let the music do the talking, man. I think, to be honest, man, like that's how I play it. Do you know what I mean? Like let the music do the talking. Yeah, man, we're out of lockdown, so I'm out of lockdown. My music's out of lockdown, so get me, man. There's no more mischief hiding and all that stuff. So
I hear that.
You get what I mean? Like, so I'm kind of revived still, man. I like the challenge as well. I like a challenge, man. I like to challenge myself, man. I get bored otherwise. You know what I mean? I like battles as well. I like clashes, man. I like it to be hotter. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
So you mentioned let's elaborate. What do you mean by clashes, my brother?
Someone said to me or something, man. Do something. Let's get something cooking, bro. Like,
so what? Okay.
That's what I'm like, but no one's out there like that. So
am I not correct? I'm sure you've done a beat boss back in the day, if I'm not correct.
And I love that. Big up Tiatson, man. I love that stuff. That stuff there is it.
All right, people, man. You heard it here first. Any producers who think they can contest or even live up to the name of Boss Mischief and challenge my man to a refix challenge, then let's get it. Because for me, do you know what? Oh my days.
Because I would just start at him, man. Like that's if I because Come on, man. Like we can't be like it's like.
Bro, do you know what?
Man.
It's healthy. It's so healthy.
Why has no one done that to me? Like, why is no one at me saying, "Bro, what are you?"
Let's be real. Let's be real now. You take your
crown, like,
I was gonna say you'll take off heads, bro. You'll take off heads. I can't let it through. Let's be real. But
and it's all love at the end of the day, but it's for the music, man. It's just for the music, man.
I was gonna say it's healthy. It's healthy for the music culture, bro. Grime was built up on clashing, bro. Like early grime, that's what it was all about, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Exactly. We don't have that now, so we need that for real. It helps the culture.
If you're saying you're grime, then that's what it's about. I don't know if obviously if you're doing other stuff, your other campaigns, cool. But if you're saying you're grime, you get me? If you actually say I am a grime producer, like I don't even scream that much. You get me? I'm a producer, grime, whatever you want to call me, but I never scream. But I'm whatever you want to call me. If my music sounds grime, then I'm a grime producer. If my music sounds like this, I'm just producing rhythms that are.
I'd say you're an artistic multi-genre producer. That's how I'd put it.
Whatever you want to call me, bro. Like, I just love the grime. I just love the grime scene. Innit? Like that's how I see it, innit? And that's who's embraced me, and I'm just making rhythms. But a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm a grime producer. I'm this and that." Then get to clashing, man. Get to warring. Do you know what I mean?
You had it in first. You had it. Bro, you need to start calling out on the TO, bro. I want to start seeing some controversial tweets from you, my bro. But
I don't do that. I mean, I get straight to the action.
I know. You just get straight to it. You're done talking, 100%. All right. Just to finalize. A lot of MCs, you don't really have or put out stuff where you have MCs who spit on your tunes, properly. Do you get what I'm saying? Is that something you shy away from? Is that something you'd like to see happen maybe in the distant future?
That's just down to my personality. As I said, I don't approach people, innit? So, this doesn't work with people like me because I'm not approaching people. I'm not saying, "Yo, I got this rhythm, but you want to spit on it?" So, I'm just a studio rat in the studio. Like, if MCs want to jump on a rhythm, like sorry.
Have you had that? Have you had that though? Where MCs have approached you? So I'd like to.
Yeah, it's mainly from radio up in it. Like that's what I like organically. They'll hear it on the radio. They'll like the rhythm. Then they'll say, "Raw, that rhythm's sick. Can I jump on it?" I'll say, "Yeah, whatever." But I definitely need to be more of a producer in that aspect, which is just working with artists and that. So I'm still learning, man. I'm still fresh. I'm not even in gear one ready. I'm just rolling down the hill on neutral. Do you know what I mean? I'm still, you get me, doing what I'm doing.
Bro, I'm so looking forward to what you've got coming because I know I agree with you. I believe that you are in gear one, and God forbid what I see in gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, gear 5 produces, because I feel that. Yeah, you're just there, my bro. But I can't wait to see what you've got coming up for us, man. Because I'm excited for you.
I appreciate that.
Now, for real, I mean, like I said, bro, I am a fan. Like, I will listen to your music religiously. Like, see that I mentioned about the exhibit tune. I'll be driving. I'm that brother. I'll be driving around in my whip, listening to that because it gets me, especially for a radio set. I'll be listening to your tunes. And other producers as well, just to get me in the mode, get me in the right state of mind, and that's what your music does to a lot of people as well, my bro. So honestly,
does it to me, man. It's medicine for me still. I can't lie. So I'm glad it has that effect on everyone else. It
really does, my brother. It really does, and you should be proud of yourself, man. Because from what you've done, musically and personally, again, it's a huge testament to you, my bro. Because not a lot of people can do that, but it's an inspiration for a lot of people, man. So big respect to you.
Respect.
To finalize, Lockdown Files, it is out now, if I'm not mistaken.
It's out now, all for free, 36 tracks, different genres, all free.
Don't say that, all free. Oh,
bro, man, it's all love, man. I'm out here, man. I'm doing it for the love, man. Everyone knows. Everyone that supports me and smashes my tunes knows what I'm about. Like, if you follow my Bandcamp, you know I'm not faking this stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's real. It's real life.
You know, he said follow the Bandcamp, bro. You know me as a DJ, I've got these Bandcamps in my mind, innit? I'm like, right, I need to go to this one, that producer. You are on that list, my brother. I'll go there. See, hold on, let me see. And if there's nothing there, I go direct to the source. I go, yeah, brother, like, What have you got? Have you got anything fresh? And the Lockdown Files is a perfect prime example of what.
No, I had to give it to the Bandcamp lovers because I was ghost for a year. So I had to come back and give you a year's worth of music, man. 36 tracks. You can do your homework on them. You can be like, all right, cool, play catch up on my music. And then when you digest that, I got some more for the end of the year, man. I got some more still, man. I'm here now, man.
I am gassed. I just want to say thank you because you done a little refix for me recently, which is, and you know, and this. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something now. This is exclusive. That tune that I requested for you to refix, right, was a Bashment tune, right? I heard that tune when I was 18 years of age. I'm showing my age here now, and I used to play that in my car 24/7. There are different versions of it. There's like 20 versions of that Bashment rhythm. On my life, I said to myself, me, I'm going to learn how to produce and refix that tune in grime. For me, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let anyone else do it because I don't want anyone to know about that rhythm. And I want to be the first person that's done it. Did I do it? No. Who did I come to? You. Yeah. So I just want to make sure you realize that is how much of an effect you have. Your music does. I come to you, brother, bro. Can you do it for me, please? Like, you're refixing. Like,
no, that's love, man. Nah, I see it, man. Like, you're a true G, man. That's why I'm here. Like, you get me? Like, you're really a supportive person. So
always,
yeah, man.
always. All right, my bro. Well, listen.
I step out for interviews, isn't it? Yeah. So.
No, this is greatly appreciated. I'm so glad to even speak to you just on a personal touch. You know what I mean? Just really understand the person behind the musical genius and the keyboard and the computer and so on and so forth. But just finally, I saw a keyboard earlier. Can you play instruments, or is it just for the musical producing kind of element?
I've got a guitar here as well, bro. No, okay. Like, I'm not no Beethoven, man. I can't lie, but I do what I need to do. You get me? I get to where I need to get to on it, but I can learn more. I can't lie. I can go heavy on it, but it gets where what I want to do does the job. You know what I'm saying? The guitar does the job as well. Like, whatever I want to do does the job.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay. As long as it does the job, that's all that matters, my brother. So yeah, big respect, man. All right. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, my bro. Once again, I'm proud of you for where you've come and what you've achieved thus far. I'm looking forward to. I'm excited for your journey of what's to come. Being a grime DJ, true appreciation of your music, and thank you for what you've done for us in the grime scene, because you've really helped us with these tunes and bangers and play them on sets, and the energy that we receive as DJs on a set from the tunes that we play, your tunes, is incredible. So thank you. But yeah, man, hopefully we'll catch up with you soon, see what else you've got more in the pipeline. But it's been an absolute my blessing, my bro. So thank you very much, man. Bless, my guy. Bless.